thank you for your time and attendance today. Set this session up to just do a quick walkthrough. We had some additional functionality released last Thursday evening. A lot of that additional functionality was internal, but we also had some external items released that affected the LHD dashboard. So here's a quick agenda of what we're planning to go over today. Just a quick overview for those of you that maybe aren't MiEHDWIS users yet and want to know what you can see and do. Just give a quick overview of the LHD dashboard. Show ways that you can find some knowledge-based articles or get some support as you're working in MiEHDWIS. Show each of the dashboard cards, where you can find your activity history and create activities. Then we'll walk through a few inspection report submittal processes. I set up some dummy inspection activities for campgrounds, pools, septic vehicle and land site, and also septic waste receiving facility. We'll walk through the on-site wastewater management request process. So we'll submit a technical request. Not a training request, but there's the ability to do that. Talk about some features and functionality that are coming soon, and then we'll open it up for Q&A and maybe walk through some other processes or field any questions that came up during the session. Whatever makes sense or whatever you would like to see. All right, so I'm going to be working in one of our MiEHDWIS test environments or training environments. This one is the train environment, so I'm going to log in as a few different LHD users that I had set up just to kind of show a few different things. So we'll start with our friend Adam Byrne from Michigan. This information here. See, we have quite a few users in here. Oh, wrong one. Go. So this is going to be a little slow because I'm sharing my screen. Very slow, I guess.
Jeremy, there is a shortcut. If you go into your URL where it says .com/water, if you take out water and login and you put in dashboard, that sometimes speeds up this process, especially in the test environments. Oh, it looks like it came. Perfect.
Yep, we're moving. Thanks for that tip though, Mary. All right, so if you haven't logged in since the release last Thursday, you'll see a few updates. There's a pencil here, so you're able to modify or update your contact information. Simply click that. You can edit your details here. We won't get into that, but I believe this card here is new. Kind of shows you if you're in a district health department or a single county health department, it will show you your information here, and you can click on these.
Hey, Jeremy, can
Yeah.
you zoom in a little bit?
Yep. Thanks, Matt. All right. Sorry about that. I'll go back out to the dashboard. Yeah, so this is kind of the landing page. And you'll see we have several cards here, a welcome card that's got some links here that we see as the most pertinent. This message may be updated as additional releases come, or we get additional input or new knowledge-based articles to help you out. But these are some of the most pertinent ones for health department staff right now. And you'll see these are underlined in blue, so you can actually click on them and they'll take you to like this help page. And there's some navigation menus, and I know you probably can't read this because it's not zoomed in very well, but over on the left-hand menu, you'll see different categories. And this one is, I work with a local health department, what help can I get? And then there's several articles underneath that. You know, one is what is available to me on my dashboard as a local health department user. Some on you know, how do I submit an inspection report? How do I submit a closing order or complaint inspection for a swimming pool? We'll go through that a little bit later. How do I find activities? How do I submit an on-site wastewater management request? Some other items there. How do I access my local health department office information page? So lots of good information there. Get back to the dashboard here. And another way to get to that page is going to the upper right hand corner, clicking on your username and going down and pressing the help button. So that's going to open up that same page. And again, you know, same menu over here on the left to walk you through all the different articles that we might currently have available. Up top, you know, as I mentioned, this welcome message that has some more current information in it. There's a messages on open activities card, and if you're not seeing anything there, you can toggle it to maybe something that's older than 14 days. You can see some messages between Adam and Matt Rockhold about a septage inspection report here. Some messages between Adam and Starla regarding a swimming pool inspection report. Some messages between Adam and Jeff Ross with the on-site wastewater management unit talking about a OWM request. And again, another one related to septage. If you click on, again, the blue underlined activity, it'll open that up for you. You can go right to the activity, kind of see what it's about, refresh your memory, has all the request information that was initially submitted, and it'll have all those back and forth messages here. So some quick navigation points, but anytime you go back, it's going to toggle that back to just the most recent messages within 14 days. So some other items here, you can see there's an open task. Looks like we had a non-compliant situation at this swimming pool establishment. So there's a task here to complete a follow-up inspection. You can see this, of course, this time of year, a lot of the open inspection activities are going to be pretty sparse because we're completing all the 2024 inspections, and the 2025 fiscal year or calendar year inspections haven't been created yet. So this will soon populate with a whole lot more inspection activities, open inspection activities, but right now there's only 14. There is the ability to filter, and of course, a big filter here is based on the program type or inspection. You can see it's only giving us 4 options because there are only 4 inspection types showing up right now. There's no campground inspection type showing up, so we don't have the ability to filter for those. But yeah, if you're looking for a specific entity or part of a name, you can type it in there. If you know the entity ID, you can type it there. District health departments can sort by their counties. Some new functionality that came out was this assigned to inspector. So now you can search for inspector name. If it needs attention, yes or no. Status, if it's, you know, depending on the type of activities that are showing up, is it a inspection requested for, you know, an annual or new vehicle inspection, initial inspection, those type of things. Is it in draft status or has it been submitted? And then some modifiers depending on the type of inspection activities that are showing up. So as I mentioned, there's some of this new functionality here about setting an inspector name, and this will be inspections that are in a draft or inspection requested status, not submitted. So you can't, you know, after the fact assign an inspector, but there's the ability to, okay, we've got this follow-up inspection that needs to be done. I'm going to go in and assign that to one of our staff here, and it'll have a drop down for the users in the system. If it's somebody other than a user that's in the system, you can actually type in it just any name. And set that. So again, this is just a test environment. I'm not messing up stuff for Mid-Michigan Health Department, but you'll see that name shows up here right now, over here on the inspector name, and you can, you know, you can sort any of these fields by just clicking the name or the arrow. Sort things a different way, kind of, you know, by inspector name. Hey, okay, we don't have many set, but I can see a couple set for Mark or John or inspector number 1, Ian, etc. Showed you the contact information here. You can modify that information now by clicking the pencil button. You can get to the different local health department office cards or your, you know, your home office card by clicking any of these buttons. And some additional functionality that was also released is related to entities. So you'll see that there's kind of a down caret here that will open up some additional information. Before, this was just a static list of all the entities. Didn't really have much to view there. Now we're showing kind of an activity list, and this is being worked on right now to be able to show you for swimming pools, to be able to show you license activities, and for you to be able to access any issued license. And for any construction permit activities, you'll be able to access the construction permit. So you'll be able to view and download that. But just want to show you, if you click on, so right now this is Alma High School. They have a swimming pool. Click on that. It'll bring up a few other cards with some additional information here, some contact information that we have in our system. As you're going through that, if you've got more updated information, please reach out to us, our program staff, and provide that updated information. We'd be glad to get it updated in the system. But yeah, again, you can find those recent activities. I think that it only shows 10 on that dashboard page, but you can get to each of them here and kind of see status and some other details. As I mentioned, the ability to get the actual documents associated with the licenses and permits is being worked on right now. I think early next year that'll be available. But so that's a swimming pool. Go back down to the entities, and again, you can filter if you're looking for all the haulers. You can just do a quick SH. Of course, there's It's going to search for any field. So this address has Washington with SH in it, so it's going to show that. But here's a hauler. You can click on that and kind of see the status of the most recent activities there. But if you want to see the full list, again, click on it. Contact information, financials card. You can see their active vehicles, just one vehicle there, and then the recent activities. So the establishment information is going to vary depending on the establishment type. So that's what you saw for a septic hauler and a swimming pool. Let's look at a campground and kind of see what it shows for one of those. You can see the most recent activities here. If we click on that, and it will show us some expanded information, contact information, campground owner information. Again, recent activities, a little bit more information for you, site information, number of sites, 30 modern, utility or infrastructure information over here in this card, service building information here in the bottom one. So hopefully you find that useful. As you get in there and explore and you see some things that maybe we can work on or approve, please, again, reach out and let us know. But now I think I'm going to go in and I'm going to log out of Adam here. Log in as a different user. I'm going to log in as a user from Kalamazoo County and work on submitting a couple inspection reports. While we're waiting for that to load, I'll show you. We're going to work on an establishment called Drake's here, apartment complex, and they've got 4 pools. 2 are outdoor and 2 are indoor. So I just pulled the inspection reports from this current year, and we'll upload them as 2025 inspection reports. So they did these on the EGLE forms, handwritten. You can see they're both approved. Both the indoor and outdoor, no issues were found. But now we're in, and you can see, like I said, I set up a couple dummy inspection reports, so you can see that these are here in the open inspection activities list for Kalamazoo County, and we'll start with pool number 1 here. You can see just a swimming pool inspection, annual. It's got the details of the pool number there. So this is swimming pool 2169-01, outdoor swim, inspection requested status. So we'll go ahead and click this activity to get started here. And if you haven't been into a pool inspection activity, this is what it looks like from the LHD side of things, a few different cards here with different items in it. If you had a need to communicate with EGLE, you can use this messaging widget. So Josh covers Kalamazoo County, so it populates with the area engineer there, and Starla, our administrator. So it gives you options there to send them a direct message. Just select the recipient, type it out, and you can send it along if you had questions as you were working to get this submitted. But we'll go ahead and start the process by clicking upload. Gives you a confirmation message. Yep, we want to start that. So first asks us to fill out the inspection summary form. So we'll click that button. And it's going to give us some additional information here. So confirming that it's for that pool number 1 outdoor swim annual inspection. Take a look at our inspection report, confirm that it matches this pool. You know, we've had some issues with incorrect inspection reports getting submitted. You know, sometimes it's a campground that also has pool or a couple pools, and the naming of the inspection report file might look very similar. So this is just confirmation step. Yep, I've looked at the report. It's the correct one. This is inspected by health department staff. We'll put the inspector name. Question over here, were EGLE personnel also on site for the inspection? You can check that yes, if so. And then it's going to just ask for a quick summary about the compliance recommendation. Okay, this was an outdoor pool. We did a seasonal opening. We'll just put today. Inspection was fine. We're going to put in compliance. And then there's this question that pops up, is a follow-up inspection needed? And some health departments will do a seasonal opening inspection and then a opening or just a routine inspection throughout the year. So if that's the case, yes, we want to create another inspection activity. So we're going to assume that's the desire here. And then there's some additional explanation in here about what these inspection resolution statuses mean to us. So in compliance means no issues at all, no comments on the inspection report. Everything was perfect. Insubstantial, yeah, maybe a minor thing or two. We did note some comments on the report and would like EGLE to review that. Follow-up inspection may be necessary this year, or maybe just the next annual inspection the following year is appropriate. Not in compliance, yeah, we've got an issue, we need to do a follow-up. We're not recommending licensure to continue into the next year. So after you've kind of reviewed everything there, go ahead and hit that complete button. If you have questions, you know, you need to connect with the sanitarian or talk with EGLE first, you can hit that save draft. But now we can go ahead and upload the inspection report because I've got it ready to go. I can just drag that over. You can add, you know, some detail here if you'd like. Not required. File type is required. So we're going to put inspection report because that's what we drug over. Go ahead and hit the save button. So it's going to be included there. So we'll go back up here. Hit that. as we added the inspection report. Oh, well, it's going to prompt us first. And we've done that. So this is a very intuitive process. Check that button. Just as a double check. Now we go ahead and hit submit to EGLE. So it's complete. So we'll go back to the dashboard now, just to kind of show how that refreshed. And there'll be an update here to the open inspection activity. So because we selected a follow-up for that pool, that did show up here. So that's new. And you can see we've got the 216904, 03, and 02 pools showing up here, but that one that we just completed is no longer there. So if we wanted to find that, we would go to the activity history, and that's over here on the left-hand menu. And of course, you can filter there. So let's look for a 2169. What's the pool number? We can just do a quick search and see, the history of the 2024 inspections that were submitted. We've got some of the inspections requested, the new ones that were just created. Here's the one that we just completed. You can see it's in an approved status. Some of the historical ones there. All right, so that's the pool process, kind of the routine pool process. While we're here, we can, let me actually go to create activity. So sometimes you'll get a complaint for a swimming pool that you'll need to go out and do a quick inspection and kind of figure out what happened, whether there's a real issue there, whether there's additional requirements needed for that pool to stay open, just determine what happened. So if we want to create you won't see those activity types show up. So you would have to create an activity to attach a complaint inspection to. So you can kind of see there's a few options here for a swimming pool establishment, one of them being complaint inspection, and we also have swimming pool closing order. So again, if your pool had a back tee hit or something like that, they weren't submitting their MORs or another appropriate reason to issue a closing order, you can go in here and kind of create that activity and submit it to EGLE. So we'll go through a complaint inspection. So for the entity, we'll just kind of use that same one. And of course, it's not going to be pool specific, so we'll have to include that detail later. It's just going to be establishment specific. So again, there's going to be some instructions over here about how to finish the activity. So it's going to ask, confirmation that you have the establishment number or pool number clearly written on the complaint inspection document. Double check you're submitting this to the correct pool establishment, that you remember, a local health department staff doing this. And if none of those are correct or you're not ready, just go ahead and hit the withdrawal button. So we're going to go ahead and hit start. And then it's going to update these directions, use the attachments to attach your inspection report. Again, confirm that it's the right pool. Pool number is clearly written on the form. So we'll scroll down to the attachments and click upload, and just drag over, a different inspection report here. This is going to be our complaint. And if you have a report, or if it's just general correspondence, you can select that type. Maybe you have 2 attachments to include, maybe a inspection report and then some correspondence afterwards that resolved the complaint, or was your response to the complaint. You can go ahead and attach that as well. Again, pretty straightforward. If you have a message you want to send to the area engineer or to Starla, you can do that along with the activity, and then just go ahead and submit files. And it's submitted. So that will create an activity for our internal EGLE staff to kind of review that complaint activity, kind of see what happened, if there's any need for follow-up from EGLE staff, and we'll reach out to you and your staff to figure out those next steps. All right. Now we'll move on to campground inspection. So I'm going to log out again, log in as a different user. We're going to pick on our friends up in Health Department Northwest for this one. And close out these inspection reports. And we do have some unique campgrounds in Michigan, some with very similar names. So that's the reason I selected this one. You'll see that we've got a Big Bear Lake State Forest Campground operated by DNR, and a Big Bear Point State Forest Campground operated by DNR, right next to each other. So one's got 14 sites, the other one has 30. So the names are very similar, similar ownership information. Again, just kind of want to make sure we're attaching the right inspection reports to the right activity. So you can see I created, again, 2025 inspection activities for those 2 campgrounds. Information's right here, the activities are here. So we'll go ahead and start with the Big Bear Lake campground. And this is going to be very similar to the annual pool inspections. So some conditions for transitioning and submitting this to EGLE. Some instructions here on the steps. Again, messaging and tasks. Once we start pressing those buttons, the tasks will show up. Place to put customer attachments. If EGLE had any attachments that were already on the activity that might be useful to you or your staff, those would be there. But we'll go ahead and actually we're going to upload inspection report. So again, this updates the instructions here. Says scroll to customer attachments below, upload attachment, choose the appropriate file, save, etc. So we'll start with that. Again, this is Big Bear Lake, not Big Bear Point. So I'm going to click upload attachment and drag over the Big Bear Lake inspection report. Hit file type of inspection report, hit save. can scroll up to this task and select that, yes, we did in fact upload that inspection report. So now it's going to transition up here to the inspection summary and give us some instructions once we hit that. And the reasons for it, we just want the inspector name, date, and compliance recommendation, whether there's any conditions or follow-up actions required that are noted on that inspection report. So scroll down again to the tasks, hit that start form to start the inspection summary submittal process. And again, it's going to give us, that information, campground identity, name, type. Yes, this was inspected by staff from the health department. Put the inspector name in Otsego County, and then the summary. That inspection was conducted Tuesday. If we need help with understanding the inspection resolution, there was nothing wrong with this one, so we're going to put in compliance. And this one's going to be a little bit different, where the pool one gave us the option for a follow-up inspection, even if it was in compliance. Campgrounds is going to be a little bit different. So if we select in substantial compliance, it's going to ask us, well, do you think a follow-up inspection is needed this year? And you can add some comments in there about, yes, scheduled for 2 weeks from today, or need verification that they secured their septic tank lid, or the site numbering was off, they're ordered, they're going to send a photo after they get the new site identification out there. If it's not in compliance, then a follow-up action is going to be required, and this is going to be a more immediate concern, something that we want to get resolved within a set time frame. So just some subtle differences here at the compliance recommendation step. So go ahead and hit complete. And we'll scroll down to our tasks. It auto checked that button for us because we completed that summary, and then we'll go ahead and hit submit to EGLE. We're all set. And again, if you go back to the dashboard, you'll see that open inspection activity dropped off for the Big Bear Lake State Forest Campground. All right, we're going to log back out and log in as George from Van Buren Cass and walk through some septage inspections. So I've got a 2024 vehicle inspection and land site inspection for Vaughn Cleanright, which is a hauler out of Cass County. You can see this is the land site inspection. Sorry for scrolling so fast, but just want to get to the bottom and show you. In compliance, so no concerns or issues there. And for the vehicle, annual vehicle inspection, no issues or concerns with this one. In compliance. So again, kind of navigating the dashboard, you can see Vaughn Cleanright inspection activities here for 2025. This one's Vehicle inspection. They've got 2 vehicles, but I just set up one inspection report for the one vehicle here. So we'll go ahead and click into that one. Going to be very similar here. Instructions on how to start the process, messaging window here. You'll see the recipients are going to be different. It's going to have the field staff from Septage. So Ben covers Van Buren Cass and Matt as the Septage program administrator for available folks to send a message to if you had a question or concern or ran into issues during the process of completing this inspection activity. But we'll go ahead and click upload inspection report. It's going to change those instructions again. So we'll scroll down to customer attachments, click upload. We'll drag over our inspection report. This is a vehicle inspection report. And sometimes, you know, naming your files can help with organization internally and us at EGLE too. We'll go ahead and save that. We can see it's uploaded here. Go to our tasks, upload the inspection report and optional supporting documents. We didn't have any supporting documents, so we'll go ahead and check that button. Yes, we did complete that. There is the ability to upload photos or attachments. If you're out in the field and you want to use your device camera, you can go ahead and hit that button. It'll open up your tablet camera or cell phone camera. You can snap a photo if you wanted to include that with your report and send that to EGLE. But we've got that inspection report uploaded, so now we need to complete the inspection summary. Go ahead and click those buttons to start that process. Again, it'll update these descriptions or instructions here and steps. So we need to go back down to tasks, it says, to complete that inspection summary form. So go ahead and hit the start form button. It'll take us to that window. Very similarly, going to show the appropriate information here, entity ID, the title, the inspection, gives a lot of detail about which vehicle it's for in the name. So LHD inspection. We do have some differences with the Septage program in that there are haulers that operate within multiple counties or cross county lines. So if you're not seeing the appropriate health department county show up for you, you can select that and choose a different office or county. Again, enter the inspector's name there. Scroll down to the summary. Again, it just asks for a date and your recommendation. So we'll put last week that inspection was conducted. And this is going to be similar to campgrounds where you select in compliance. It's not going to ask about a follow-up, but if you do select in substantial compliance, that's not going to ask about a follow-up either, or not in compliance. It's not going to ask about a follow-up. Okay, so Septage vehicles are totally different. We'll select in compliance, go ahead and complete that summary. And if you have issues where you do need a follow-up inspection for something from Septage, like a vehicle, reach out to Matt or myself, and we can create another activity for you that will show up on your dashboard. So we'll check our steps here. We've completed all that. Check our tasks. They're both checked off. We've got the inspection report attached. That inspection summary is now attached as a document, and we can click that What did I select there again? Let me take a look at that. All right, we put in compliance. Yep, that's correct. All right, we can go ahead and submit to EGLE now. So we hit submit to EGLE. It's going to walk through that confirmation and submit it to us. So the activity's now closed. All right, we'll go back to the dashboard and walk through for a land site. So here's the activity I created for site 1 with Vaughn, annual site inspection. This one's going to be very similar to the vehicle inspection. Start process by clicking upload inspection report. Updates the description, the instructions. Task number 1 is to actually upload that report. So we'll start there. Slide over our inspection report. Land site inspection report. Save. Scroll up to our tasks, check that box. Then we'll move on to the inspection summary. Again, very similar. Scroll down to tasks to find that form, hit the start button. Staff from the health department conducted this. You know, we'll put that, yeah, we had somebody from Van Buren do that. Of course, it doesn't really matter with a district health department, but if you want to be fully correct there, please go ahead and enter that. A big part of the reasoning for this for septage is that Matt works with different health departments to cover some of those haulers that have maybe a satellite garage or multiple garages with vehicles, and they're just in different jurisdictions. It doesn't make sense for a county or district health department inspector to cross county lines and inspect a vehicle if it's not going to operate, but the business is located within their county, so we work on those inspection requirements and assignments through the annual contract. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to Matt or Greg or myself. Did that inspection the same day. You know, no issues, or maybe we had an issue with site. They needed to you know, redo some signage or isolation distance marker, and we noted that on the report. We'll go ahead and put in substantial compliance. Complete. Just do a double check. Our tasks are checked. We've got the 2 attachments now, the summary and the actual inspection report. Go ahead and submit to EGLE. All right, so that one will drop off our open inspection list as well. And I'll spare you from going through a septic waste receiving facility inspection. That one's going to be very similar to all the other ones. Upload the inspection report, complete the inspection summary, and go ahead and submit it to EGLE. All right, now we're gonna walk through the on-site wastewater management submit a request process. I'm not as familiar with this one, but we'll walk through it together. I'm gonna log in as Adam again. So I've got some information here. There's some soils work for this site, a map that kind of shows some additional information here as well. And this is one that's already in our system. Kind of lays out the property, some isolation distances, some well locations. And they're looking to do something at this property, and just looking for some input on how to go about permitting. All right, here we go. And similar to the swimming pool complaint and closing order activities, because they won't show up as an open inspection activity, we can't. It's very difficult to predict when those activities will be required. The on-site wastewater management activities can be found by creating an activity. So we'll go on the left-hand menu here, create activity, start with the entity type, on-site wastewater management. What's our activity type? Okay, is it a training request or more of a technical request? This is technical, so we'll start with OWM request. Entity, so this is Meadows by the lake. Type that in. And it might already be in the system, so we'll just put 2. Go ahead and hit create. Well, this might be an issue. Okay, my mistake. We need to enter the county. I think this is in Montcalm County, so we'll look for county. And here's where we enter the project name. Sorry about that. Meadows by the lake. We'll just call this adult foster care, building conversion, you know, just kind of give some best information we can. Is this related to administrative rules, local code, or Michigan criteria? Well, this is a commercial building, so we'll select Michigan criteria. Program type, is it 0 to 1,000 gallons per day? Greater than 1,000, but less than 6,000, or right at 6,000, or is it greater than 6,000? Up to 10,000 gallons per day. So we're going to select that middle category. We estimate the flows at 1,200 gallons per day. Request category, what kind of assistance or help are you looking for? Well, this is kind of a technical assistance consultation type request, so let's select that one. Is there some additional information that you can provide here associated with that? Is it a community system? Is it related to coordination with our EGLE Part 22 staff or EGLE Part 41 staff? Is it a design flow? Is it just general plan review assistance you're looking for, or a waste strength characterization? I don't know the particular details, so I'm going to select general for this one. But if it's related to one of these specific items, you can add that. Again, you can add some additional notes in the project description. Maybe it's 2 or 3 of these. We'll go ahead and select general. Is this a high priority, normal priority, or low? We'll just include it as normal. And then this is the actual site information. So do we have an address? You know, enter that information in here. Of course, this isn't correct information. You know, do you know the township? There's a drop down for that. And it kind of defaults some town range information depending on which township you choose. If you want to refine that a little bit more, maybe you don't. Maybe the address is pretty generic, but you've got some better lat and long information or a parcel ID number you want to include there. And then there's checkbox here. Does that address cross geographical boundaries? Maybe it's straddling a couple townships or even a county line. You can go ahead and check that. I don't think it pops up additional information, but just kind of an FYI. We'll go ahead and hit create. It's going to do an address verification. So you entered this address. Smarty Streets isn't really finding that anywhere or suggesting a more realistic address. Do you want to continue, or do you want to go back and refine that address to something that's maybe correct? If there is a street mailing address, it'll populate a Smarty Streets verified one here, and you can toggle, check which one you want to use. We'll go ahead and hit continue. So this will create the shell activity with some of those details in it. Again, over here on the right, it's going to give us some information, some instructions, some directions on what to do, how to do. Give us the best information possible. Here's the information that we entered in on those drop downs and other fields. Scroll down to the attachments. Yep, we do have a couple attachments. I'm going to send that site map, attach that site map. Save that. We've got another attachment. We've got, soils tech sheet. Save that as a supporting document. Again, you can use this to access your device's camera if you wanted to maybe send some photos while you were out in the field doing some soils work or other items. You're able to attach those. You can send a message. All right, so I think we're good there. We're going to go ahead and submit to EGLE. And these activities are going to be a little bit different. They're not going to so much show up on the dashboard because it's not an inspection activity, but they will show up in your activity history. So we'll go to activity history and search for Meadows. we go ahead and filter, you'll see. Here's the, the original one that I kind of stole some of the documents from. Shows that it's still active. You can click into that activity here. Here's the one that I just created and submitted, kind of the dummy one. But if I go ahead and click this, you can kind of see, where we're at. See, it's assigned to Jeff. We've got, again, some messages back and forth here. We've got all the attachments in one place. No EGLE attachments at this time, but should there be, some EGLE attachments that maybe make sense to upload there, those would get included. And then this copy of record. So this is a newer item as well. So this copy of record is basically going to show what the health department or the external submitter provided us. So this is going to include that form that you filled out, any attachments, those type of things. Anytime you want to see, kind of verify what you submitted, you can click on this copy of record, and it's gonna give you those details. So this was submitted July 23rd at 2:56. Here's the attachments that were included with it. It was submitted by Adam Byrne. And if you wanted to download a copy of that, it would give you, a PDF of that actual information. So those were a lot of the details that I wanted to go through. Let's go back to the agenda. Some of the items that are coming soon. I see that there's some items in the chat kind of talking about the differences in the inspection processes and workflows. So yes, there's some work efforts to refine those and standardize those, make them very similar. If there's a need for some differences, we'll certainly continue to have those. There are some unique things within each program that makes sense to be, have a little bit different workflow. What else is coming soon? So we're working on, as I mentioned, making the license documents and permit documents. So documents that EGLE's generating and sending to a pool owner, campground owner, septic hauler, whether that's an operating license or construction permit or other approval. We're working on making those available to external folks. So not only the pool owner, campground owner, septic hauler, but also local health department staff that oversee that establishment, that entity, that business. We're working on some temporary campground modules within MiEHDWIS, trying to refine that process as well. We have some time set aside in December to talk through that a little bit more with local health department staff, and we've got some internal work and understanding of what the development's going to look like, how it's going to work, how we're going to communicate that with folks that operate temporary campgrounds, and also need to work and get input from local health department staff as well on temporary campground programs. So that look for that. Like I said, in December sometime we'll be putting some communications together on that. There's a lot of work going on for the non-community water supply program, trying to import all of those facilities from EGLE into MiEHDWIS, and certain information along with that. I'm not involved with that development or that program directly, so I have a very high level understanding of what's going on there, but additional training and outreach will be coming as the non-community water supply program gets onboarded to MiEHDWIS. Likely it'll be a kind of some internal functionality first, and then some external functionality released for local health department staff coming shortly after. We did mention the ability to, and I think I see it in the chat as well, the ability to conduct inspections directly in MiEHDWIS, so that begin inspection button instead of submit an inspection report button Work on that is going on right now too, trying to again standardize the workflow and the process steps for that. But we hope to have the ability for local health department staff to conduct an inspection directly within MiEHDWIS. You know, capture any photos or other items while they're out in the field with that inspection report, but be able to check the compliance items of yes, they're in compliance, or no, they're not, or not applicable right in MiEHDWIS. So there's not a capturing information on a separate form and then uploading it. It's directly in the system, one-time entry. Once that functionality is live, we will also conduct another health department outreach and training session there to walk you through that process. Kat, was there anything else that you wanted to mention that might be coming soon for local health department users?
Yeah, I was looking at my notes, and within the next year, as we're getting more business owners as external users, we're going to be adding a tab to the entity page and a widget to the activity page where the LHD will be able to see contributors on an activity or an entity. So they'll be able to see when a business owner is in the system and using the system to pay their fees and get their documents from there. So that will be coming within the next year.
Okay, great. Thanks, Kat. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else from EGLE has any thoughts or anything they want to share about what additional functionality might be coming to local health department users. Okay. Just wanted to point out a couple other reminders that we do have these Power BI reports available to you. So if you don't have the time to log in through your my login account and access MiEHDWIS to view establishment information for campgrounds, pools, or septage, we do have these Power BI reports available through our program website. So I've got these up right now. Set this one up for Health Department Northwest Michigan. So, you know, selected the counties of Antrim, Charlevoix, Emmett, and Otsego. Gives a full list of all the active licensed campgrounds in Michigan. There's a second page to that too. You can kind of see these are the ones that are licensed: 14 in Antrim County, 13 in Charlevoix County, 10 in Emmett, 15 in Otsego. So you can kind of scroll through there if needed quickly, or you're out in the field and just want to log on to the website real quick and view those. There's some ability to you know, kind of look at a closer list here. But yeah, you know, you can search for things different ways and set up different items. Get to pools 1. Here's the pools one. I set this one to Oakland County. And this one's a little bit different in that it's active swimming pools. So it's going to show licensed and unlicensed as well. So you can see the total list for Oakland County is 885 pools, of which 853 are actively licensed. So, you know, you can kind of look at the operational status or license status, and well, let's look at the ones that are closed and expired. So they don't have an active license. Maybe we need to pay attention to this list, figure out what's going on here. Should they still be active or not? So you can kind of scroll through, you know, a more itemized list. And again, you can go to, you know, a better list to view or export there. And this This Power BI report also has 2 pages. This one's more, you know, a mapping page. Gives the licensed pools here, so that list was shrunk to 853, but you can modify what's showing there. And for septage, we have two Power BI reports. One is the haulers that shows vehicle information on page 1, and land site information on page 2. So page 2, I think I have this set up for District Health Department 10, showing the haulers that have land sites within their 10 counties, and then the land site information in detail here, you know, size and township and county, the site ID, and the septage hauler ID. This one's set up right now for Western UP Health Department, and again, you know, shows the septage haulers up here, the businesses themselves, and then the vehicles down here with the hauler ID and a little bit more expanded information on the vehicles here, plate numbers, decals, volumes, etc. And then the last septage Power BI report we have, and I have this one set up to show Barry Eaton District Health Department, is for the septage receiving facilities. So you can see, again, we've got a list here, and as you scroll right, more and more information will show up. So phone numbers, mailing addresses, fees, or other information. If it's a privately owned one and they're not open to the public, that information will be there. And as you're reviewing that, if you see information that's maybe out of date or needs updating, let us know. This information is being pulled directly from MiEHDWIS. So, but yeah, just wanted to share some reminders there. All our program coverage maps are most kept up to date on the program websites, and I'll share these slides and links with you with the training recording. But we'll go back to the agenda now and open it up for any questions. I'm not sure if there was any questions that showed up in the chat that any of the program staff want to mention and provide a response for. Amy, go ahead.
Hi, Jeremy. It's Heather with Livingston County.
Oh, okay, sure.
We're just a group of us in a room here. I have a few questions. One, with the FSR, will we need to also submit the listing of inspections that we've done for those programs, or will that report just be able to be recognized through MiEHDWIS? Do you know yet?
I don't know that yet. I know, so Lisa Hay is out right now, but it would have been good to have her on this as well. Yes, they're continuing to refine that FSR process. I think right now they still want that list of which inspections were conducted, just for double confirmation verification processes. But as we get additional reports and other items, I think that's another item that's coming to local health department users, is the ability to generate reports of inspection statuses and things like that. I think as that gets built out more, we will certainly refine the FSR process to remove any duplicate work and make it easier for both sides there. So I don't have a good answer, but I will write that one down and we can respond to you.
All right, I appreciate that. And then the only one I have just at the top of my head is the O&M component. Is that something that we're only supposed to be using for commercial? Or we haven't heard about that. Is that something new that we're going to be getting more information on for the process?
The on-site wastewater management request?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that they are reworking some of those drop-down items right now, And as that continues to get refined, yeah, I think Jeff Ross is kind of the MiEHDWIS subject matter expert right now. Kind of picked up some of that from Regina. So I think they're working on enhancements, refinements to the on-site wastewater management module. And as that happens, we will certainly share that information with you. Knowledge-based articles, training or a webinar, et cetera. I don't know how that will work, but yes, there's continued refinements to just about everything in MiEHDWIS, and as those updates are made or adjustments, changes, we'll certainly make our LHD user partners aware of those.
Okay, thank you.
Any other LHD questions? I see one in the chat about connectivity being a continued issue. Are others having connectivity issues with MiEHDWIS?
I was just going to type into the chat that we have had some reports of connectivity issues with MiEHDWIS. And if that is happening, definitely reach out to our help desk. What we found out that was happening with some offices is that their security certifications through their website weren't matching the ones with MiEHDWIS. And so there was some connectivity issues. I believe we got that addressed. If you are having issues getting into the MiEHDWIS site, like you're getting a site, a web page that says, security issue, please contact the help desk because we can figure out where that is coming from. So if that is happening, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yes, thanks, Mary, for bringing that up. Yeah, I think there was a screen sharing meeting set up when that issue occurred at one particular health department. They were able to diagnose what the issue was and then kind of work on our end in the health department's end to find a short-term workaround and then an ultimate resolution, as Mary mentioned, to provide connectivity and access to all the appropriate pages within MiEHDWIS. So yeah, please reach out. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions. Again, want to thank you for your time and your partnership. As you're working through MiEHDWIS and you notice things, like Mary said, please reach out to the help desk or to your program coverage area staff or myself and kind of ask the questions or point out the issues, the refinements, the enhancements that you'd like to see. We want to make this a useful tool for you. We want you to use it. We want to provide you with the information that you need for your entities and establishments and for doing your work on a day-to-day basis. But I'm going to go ahead and see if I can stop the recording here and